Good afternoon, team. Happy Tuesday. So today was an interesting day. We just the whole day we were just at full tilt, redlining, just grinding higher and higher and higher. The Qs ended up closing above the 200, extremely positive sign. The only negative, it was a little higher volume than previous days, but still, below average volume. So all these last, few days have been, below average volume. Even yesterday's was also below average volume. I guess we did not have, the turnaround Tuesday that I was hoping for. So maybe tomorrow we get a down day. The MT closed at 99.35. I mean, you cannot redline it any higher, close to a full tilt 100 as it is right now. So we are maxed, overbought. This is why I'm thinking we have such low volume, because there just isn't anybody else to that is there to buy. So there's also a drying of sellers, because since we keep grinding higher, the shorts keep getting squeezed, and then we have this little rallies up. So okay, so we're above the 200 now. The actual composite, it's still not at the 200. That one is still kind of below it, kind of tipping his head right at this prior breakdown of support here. So let's see if that holds. Now this was on higher volume, than average, but again, you have yesterday's also update on lower volume. So it's a mixed bag. This is a lower low. So we did break through this double bottom kind of scenario. So this does play out for an up move, but again, we're so extended that I wouldn't be surprised. We don't have to necessarily go down, but we can kind of consolidate a little bit, go sideways for a little bit, because it just again, this is really an up, straight up move. It's hard to digest that. The SPY broke this resistance line that I had here, completely just destroyed it and closed at the high. So that's an extremely positive sign. Again, volume wasn't really high, but still, you can't argue with the price action. I did want to show you what I was referring to earlier, and kind of just things that I've noticed. So we have this upper trend line here, right? Kind of do it through here so we can kind of catch all these points here, and then you notice when support gets broken, right here, you get this little wedge here, and then we broke higher. Now this becomes resistance on the way up. So we had this little up move, this little like what I was mentioning earlier. We had this big up move the first half an hour of the day, and then everything was being rotated out of energy, out of all the other stocks, into tech. I mean, Apple, Tesla, Nvidia, all the big name tech stocks, Microsoft, everything was just up huge. And then everything that we had, that at least that I had, that was energy, just got plummeted and got stopped out of everything. Now, the good news was I had a mixed bag of longs and strangles. So my strangles were working tremendously well. So even though I had realized losses of 2 to 3 or 5% on some of my my long energy stocks that I got stopped out on, my account overall wasn't down, because I was making money on the strangles. And then when I alerted that we were going to go down, and we went down right here, I shorted the market right there. So everything that I lost here, I made it here. So in this bar right here, when I saw that we didn't have continuation, I started closing, and then I kind of offset 2x what I lost here. So what I lost here, I made it back, and then I doubled it on this short here, because that was just so powerful. I was able to close out, and I was posting all my closes at 45%, 55% gains. So that kind of worked out pretty good. Let me reset that. And then basically we grinded higher from there. It was a really strong, resilient day today. We had a small little pullback, but that got released right about in the afternoon. So one thing I am noticing though, that we have this bigger looking channel here. If you notice, we kind of hit it right there, and then we have a little higher high. And then if you draw this channel here and this upper, even I wouldn't want to go that high, but this right here kind of works it like really perpendicular, parallel. I'm sorry. So top of the channel, low of the channel. So it goes from top of the channel to low of the channel. Then it goes all the way to halfway. Doesn't really make it to the top of the channel, and it comes back down again. But then it gets some strength, and then we have a higher high, right? And then we go to the bottom of the channel, but now the bottom of the channel is a higher low than this one. So obviously that's why we have this uptrend, right? We have this uptrend. Makes sense. Now when we gap up here today to this high of the channel, notice right here, what do? We fall back down again, but we only go halfway. We only don't even make it to the bottom half of the channel, which is extremely strong bullish sentiment. But then again, we hit it here again on a little up move here, but we didn't get above it here. We kind of and then we stop. And now, kind of thinking in my head here before I speak, because what I'm seeing here is, and it kind of coincides with the MT being a 99. This is toppy. This is at the top range of the channel. This kind of like what I've drawn here. Well, whenever you have hit the top of the channel, you go down. Top of the channel, you go down. Top of the channel, you go down. But if you notice, the same kind of scenario here, it doesn't go. If you draw it this way, it doesn't go to below the half of the channel. And then we hit it again here. And then once we break the bottom of the channel, we go all the way down to the bottom of the channel. We go all the way back to the top of the channel. And then we start testing like a little more volatility, where eventually, we don't even make it up here anymore. Now we're in halfway, and then we just kind of break down. So are we going to break down, tomorrow and then we're done? I have no idea. But what I'm seeing is the patterns repeat themselves. So if we draw this the middle of the channel, what I'm saying is, if we break this middle of the channel right here, then there's a higher probability we hit 360 than we hit 375. That's what I'm saying. So kind of keep that in mind. So if the Qs start breaking the 368, 367 range, which will be somewhere around here, and we start breaking down, then 360 is in play rather than 375. And then that's what we're going to have a couple 100-point down move or more on the Nasdaq. But again, I'm just reading what I'm seeing here. So that's on the markets. As far as kind of stocks trades that I did today, XOP, I did a vertical on XOP. Kind of when it hit this 9 right here, it kind of kept it going a little bit lower, but it kind of held relatively to this breakout little channel here. So I got a vertical on here that I posted. So that was already very profitable. If we break 140, then that's going to be 100% profitable, 100% return, because I have a 10-point. I have the 130 and the 140, and I bought it for less than $5. So I have a 10-point spread. The most this trade can make is 10 points, because that's my spread. So if I make 10 on here and I bought it at 396, let's say 4, that's basically 110%, 120% return. So I have a GTC order for 875 on one contract, and 975 on the other. So like 85, 90% return on this. IRM is still working. I'm still holding IRM. Um, you know, this little breakout here worked, so that's still working. Even if you waited for this one over here, that works. So I'm still in this. I'm writing it. I have a 3.5 and 1.5 trading stop. So that's very profitable. The ones that I closed today on, good move. So I had the short put at 60, remember? So I closed that out. Net, I sold in with the 80, so those 80s became like worthless, 10 cents. So I bought those back, and I have the 150. So I'm good in this one. Well, Octa, that was the other day, so that wasn't even today. But even today, I would have made it even more profitable. That sucker went up even more. Um, so that's again, tech is working. Um, CPE was one that I bought pre-market. I bought pre-market right when it was like right at the 60 range, thinking kind of taking a little cheap entry before the market opened, because I saw kind of this setting up, and then lo and behold, when the market opens, energy takes a dump, and I get stopped out on about 75% of my holdings, for about 3.5% loss. I think I still have 75 shares or 100 shares of this. So if tomorrow we rally a little bit on oil, I might be able to recoup some of that. If not, I just got stopped out and move on. Small losses, nothing big. What else? Venum I still have. That one again, gap down. On the sell off this morning, big drawdown. So I still have a little bit, kind of holding the 21. So if it breaks the 21, I'll definitely get stopped out for this. This will probably be a 3.5, 4% loss on this one. So setup for tomorrow. I found a few. I went through about 250 charts today, because I had a few extra ones that I kind of put in there for another scan that I added to kind of get a little bit more of the up and comers, and pick up some more earlier entries, and it gave me a few more stocks. Again, I'm still scanning with the same criteria. I'm filtering by industry group rank first, and then percentage of high second, and then relative strength third. So I'm still looking at cream of the crop kind of thing. But I went through a few more just to kind of see what was going on, if we have any new industries coming in, and I did see some semiconductors coming in, like Nvidia, MXL, which I'll go over those. Those went from like in the 100 plus ranking to like they're now top 50. I think 47 or 48. So that's why the Nasdaq is has been doing this, because they're tech stocks, and tech stocks have been rotating to the the top of the line. So they're working. Like Nvidia. I'm gonna give you guys that 269 and change right here. I gave you Nvidia right here at 269. So even if you take it at 270, 286, it's a nice 17-point move on this day right here. That was I think Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. Right, on Thursday. And even on Friday when it came down, I never violated it. So that would have been a good entry. Remember, I had the 225, 230. So I made profits on my short puts. I never took the long itself. So again, this will be nice if we consolidate, if we kind of like come back a little bit, maybe like 10, 15 points back in the 255, 260 range, to kind of go sideways for a little bit, to then make a run of 300. That'd be great. Another one that I had an alert on that kind of triggered right there. See, the alert went off. Was up 8 points today. Again, semis, top 50 group. They actually made it in the top 50 group. So again, see how it consolidated right here, and then once it broke this right here, or even a little higher here, there's a dull bottom. This low is higher than this low. This low is lower than this low. So then you have the middle kind of like your break point. Even if you had it right here, if you took this little base right here, that would have been a great entry. Again, it doesn't trade a lot. It's enough for us, but I like 500,000 and higher in average daily volume. So the spread on this is pretty wide. But again, you can't argue with price. So stocks that I'm giving you for setups. MRVL. I'm looking at 78.21, which is the same concept of Nvidia and SITM. Double bottom, right here. Here's the middle. Breaks this high right here. I like it. 78.21. MRVL. Again, this market going higher. Let me go back to the Qs. I don't know if you guys remember, I have mentioned that normally seasonality towards the last couple weeks of March coming into April, the market tends to go higher. Well, there you go. I actually should have taken my own advice and should have been stronger longer. I started shorting a little bit too soon, as I tend to do. That's one of my mistakes I need to work on. I'm a little bit early sometimes on my trades. They eventually work out, but I go through a period of drawdown that I really shouldn't if I just have a little more patience and let it develop a little more. But again, that's something that we all need to work on. We all have our thing. So my thing is I'm a little early sometimes. So just like I was a little early with shorting a couple weeks back, and then it kind of like I was able to come back stronger and make a lot more money on it. But I had a couple of days of drawdowns that I really could have avoided. But again, hindsight's 2020. So things you just kind of like you keep learning as you grow in the business. So again, seasonality, strong move. I expect this to continue. Again, I don't expect a big, huge, decline back to like 317 again, but some consolidation, some kind of sideways movements to a little bit down. It'll be great, a little bit slant this way, so they can consolidate on lower volume to then boom, then take off. That's kind of like what would be ideal. But again, we shall see. So I'm saying this to, again, be careful with breakouts because we are extended. So, I mean, we can stay extended and keep on making money on the long side. But again, I'm just kind of warning you on probabilities. So MRVL 78.21. The other one is KBR 56.12. 56.12. It's a nice little shelf. Take out that high. KBR. TSCO 236.71. 236.71. Take out this little high right here. Nice little consolidation. This little shelf right here. If we go higher, it's been consolidating lower volume, which is always good, and it's getting tighter. Tight is good. When it gets tight like that, see it went up, it needs to consolidate, then take off again. TSCO. Another one, BEPC. 43.05. 43.05. Take out this little high right here. It's finally above the 200. It's a much lower base. It's a much lower base, but it's got good growth in earnings. It's alternative energy, just to see if any of these sectors will break out. I like this run up here, and then a lower volume, consolidate. This big one down day, but it helped the 21. So this channel is still intact right here. So if we break this little flag right here and take off, I want to take out this high right here. We might see 50. So BEPC. POR 5546. POR 5546. Take out this high right here. Nice little cup forming here. Nice little cup right here. Even this little base right here. If you would have taken that right there at 54, you probably would have stopped out somewhere here. But if you were taking profits, you would have made 5-10%. I mean 4 or 5%. So this little shelf right here, I like it. It's holding the 9, holding the 21. POR 5546. It's a utility, type 45. It won't be sexy. It's not going to take off on you. So that's why a low movement, low ATR stock. ATR, average true range. CAR 273.05. 273. Sorry, not 273. Yeah, sorry. 273.05. Take out this high right there. So I have a little, see the little pennant, kind of broke. It broke this little shelf. Right, again, it's a lower base. It's a lower base, but it broke this little shelf right here at 205, 206, and it's 70 points higher. So that worked. So that it kind of parabolic went up. Now it's consolidating sideways to down, which I love beautifully on down on decreasing volume. This is like ideal textbook for this puppy to just take off here. So it's got to break this little high right here. I want this in this little don't you know, I would take it here as a cheat entry, maybe add on here. You can take it to like 319, 318. Still gonna be a 40-point move, 60-point move. And then if it breaks 320, you know, you pretty much have, you know, clear skies right here, because these guys right here don't count. That was just kind of like a one-day wonder, because they say they were gonna get bought, and then you know, it kind of speculation and kind of revert back. So this doesn't count. So that 320 range is kind of like, if it breaks that, you know, we could see 400 with no problem. So, you know, the early entry will be at 273.05 CAR. Then CSX 3803. 3803. Take out this little shelf right here. 3803. Again, ideally, you want to see it consolidate sideways to down, slanted down, and then take off. Again, decreasing volume, where, you know, you want to see it, you know, you want to see it tighten up a little bit. You want small little bars, you know, kind of like, see, like here, this little shelf right here, you have big bar, then small little bars, then big bar takes off. So that's kind of what you look for. CSX, BKR 3716. 3716. Take out yesterday's high. This little shelf right here. If you take, you know, it kind of came all the way down to again, Oreo was, you know, being hit this morning to a 21. See how it held it twice here, beautifully, and then the next day it takes off. So maybe the next day, tomorrow, it takes off. So BKR 3716. MNRL. 2555. 2555. Take out this little high right here. Nice little cup. Nice little handle. Boom. Simple as that, guys. MNRL. DVN 6312. 6312. Take out this high right here. Again, energy was beating up this morning. So, but again, it recouped and it ended up at the high. It's got earnings coming up, so you might make a run into earnings. I mean, ridiculously incredible numbers. So 6310, DVN. CVE 1619. CVE 1619. Sorry, I transposed. 1691. 1691. Take out this high right here. Nice little shelf. We take out, you know, again, we got a couple days of big volume bars on the, you know, on the big up days. So I like that. 1691. You know, it's holding, you know, the uptrend. It's holding the 50, you know, nicely. 21. So it's kind of consolidating a little bit here. I like it, you know. Again, Oreo. If Oreo recoups itself, we should have a nice move on that one. BPT 1510. 1510. I want this high right here, to be taken out. So I have a downtrend line here, so I might have a cheat entry somewhere in the 1485, 1450 range, but to be more conservative, you know, I'm gonna add a 1565, but I want to initiate a 1510. Okay. And then last but not least, we're gonna go back to the well. We're gonna go back to Alcoa. Alcoa again. Look at that. It just pinned the 21 right there, and then boom, it reversed higher. It's still down from yesterday because again, oil stocks, energy got hit, and then anything that was top industry group. Once we had this little breakout here, we took it here, and we took it here, and now we reversed back to the 21. So we had a nice pullback. Again, this is the 100 play, right? It goes 64 to 80, 80 to 90. Then it tries to make it to 100. It doesn't make it. It gets rejected. Goes back down to 85, 90. And then hopefully the next round will be to the 102, 103 range, 107. Then back to 95, 100. Then in the 120s. So right now we're in the stage of we want to see 92.35. Get taken out again. Which is let me clean this up. Which is around this high right here from yesterday's high. We take that out. We could easily see 95, 96, 97, and then maybe take profits at 99. If it goes to 101, you add and so forth. Okay, that's AA. That's all I got for today. Again, just if we have alerts coming on these breakouts in the morning, go to the 15-minute or the half an hour chart if it's at 10, 11 in the morning, and make sure that on the breakout bar there's volume on that lower time frame bar. You want to confirm that you have that breakout with volume, with conviction. So you want to see volume on the lower time frame on a breakout if it's in the middle of the day or in the beginning of the day. Okay, so I hope you guys made good money today. I did pretty well today. SQ got me a little drawdown because it was up today, but I made a lot of money on the short puts, rolling them up and closing them out. So my break even is going to be it's getting a little bit closer. The trade is kind of getting itself worked out a little bit. Again, it's it closed below this downtrend line. It's still just below the 150 psychological number. So hopefully we can have a nice little flush back down to the 130s, so I can close these guys out, sell some more puts, and this is a nice little ATM machine for me this last couple of weeks. All right, guys, have a blessed rest of the day, and I'll talk to you guys. The next video will be on Thursday. All right, be good.